In this video, we are going to be learning about the volume of a right cylinder. So we've previously learned that the volume of a right prism is calculated as the area of our base times the height. And we can use this formula to determine the volume of a right cylinder. So we know that in a cylinder, the bottom of it is going to look like a circle. So a cylinder is basically a soup can. It's the easiest way to describe it. It's what most of them look like with various sizes. So we know that that bottom is going to be a circle, and the top is going to be a circle. Oh, it's a little lopsided. So the area of our base is going to be pi r squared, and then we're going to multiply by our height. So this is our formula for volume of a right cylinder. So I have an example here. It asks us to find the area of the base of the cylinder, or the volume, and it says that the area is 154. So we actually have the area already. So this is an example where I can use my area of base times my height. So the area of my base is 154. And my height of my cylinder is 24 in this case. So when I do this multiplication, 154 times 24 is equal to 3,696 centimeters cubed. So we can write this as an algebraic form or in a formula. And we already did this a little bit. So pi r squared is the formula for area of a circle. And the height of our shape is represented by h. So the volume is pi r squared times height, where r is my radius and h is the height of my shape. So we have a second example here. It says, in 2002, 9 Pennsylvania miners were trapped in a flooded coal mine. So it's an underground mine and they were trapped in it. Rescue workers drilled a hole about 90 centimeters wide and 73 meters deep into the ground to make an escape shaft. The soil from the hole was removed and piled on the ground. What volume of soil did the rescue workers remove? Give your answer to the nearest cubic meter. So as we do this, we do need to have a picture of what is going on. So if I were to go through this question and think about what's important, well, in all honesty, this is not important. It doesn't really matter what we're doing. To be honest, it doesn't really matter that they drill the hole. We just have a hole that is 90 centimeters wide and 73 meters deep. Okay? We don't need to know that it was an escape shaft. We don't know that the soil from the hole was removed and piled on the ground. We want to know what is the volume of the soil. Okay? So there's a whole bunch of extra jazz in here that we don't actually need. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by sketching a diagram. So it doesn't have to be pretty. I often will just do an oval, a couple straight lines, and then curve the bottom. Got a beautiful cylinder. So we know that our hole is 73 meters deep. Now, the trick here is that it's 90 centimeters wide. So 90 centimeters is in a different unit. So I have centimeters and I have meters. So I want to know how many meters is 90 centimeters. And so using some of our conversions, we know that 90 centimeters is 0.9 meters. Now, you won't be asked a question like this in your notes, so don't worry about it. If you want to double check my work, you can Google it. It'll tell you that it's 0.9 meters. So our hole all the way across is 0.9 meters because it needs to be wide enough that each of those people that are down the hole can get out. So we know that we have a diameter and we have a height. So let's take a look at our formula. I have volume equals pi r squared times height. Well, I know my height, but diameter and radius don't work together. So I actually have to take and turn my diameter into a radius before I can keep going. So in order to turn it into a radius, I need to know that radius is my diameter divided by 2. So 0.9 divided by 2, which will give me 0.45. So once I have that, then I can go over and put this into my calculator, or into my formula. So pi is 3.14 times 0.45 squared times my height. Now, because I have a variety of things going on here, remember I have to follow BEDMAS. So the first thing that I'm going to do is my exponent. So everything else is going to just come on down. That is the annoying sibling. It is always there, and I haven't dealt with it yet. I haven't told them to go away, or it hasn't worked. So I'm going to take this 0.45 and I'm going to square it, or I'm going to multiply it by itself. And when I do that, I am going to get 0.2025. Oh, and I should have replaced my height. I'm sorry, guys. We're going to replace those with 73s because that is the height. So next thing, I have multiplication and multiplication, so I can put all of this into my calculator all at the same time. So 3.14 times 0.2025 times 73 is equal to 46.41705. Now, the question is asking us to the nearest meter, so that's a whole meter. So I am then going to be rounding to this position. So I'm going to look at this number. This number is a 4, which is less than 5. So that means that my 6 is going to stay the same. So they removed 46 meters cubed of soil to rescue those miners. So you guys have some practice questions in your books there to practice with cylinders. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I look forward to seeing you in the meets.